I regret buying my Canon R5. For the first time in a long time, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. Let me explain. So, the Canon R5 is a great camera. I'm not going to deny that. It's been wonderful for everything that we've had to use it for, but it's almost too good. Here's what I mean. So, the 45 megapixel sensor, it's crisp, it's sharp, it's great. Um, File sizes are almost too big sometimes. I utilize Shootproof for my client image delivery and all that stuff, weddings, um, portrait sessions, etc. And a lot of times the final image is too big, so I end up having to scale back the quality on the R5 anyway. But more importantly, I think this guy has got me spoiled. Um, Notably, the switch on top. I have a preference to that over the mode dial and the screen. The camera file sizes are better. The R6 has a substantially better noise pattern, at least in my opinion. Of course, this is going to be a subjective matter. A lot of times when I'm working weddings or I'm working portrait sessions, I find myself reaching for the R6 just because I know that I'm not going to have to do that little bit of extra work. It's going to make it faster. I also believe the R6 has a half stop more of dynamic range, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is noticeable, especially in low light situations. I think the noise pattern is better on the R6. So I don't want to make this a video about why I like my R6 equally, if not more than my R5, but just some things that I wanted to touch on here. So maybe this is where the buyer's regret and a little bit of guilt comes in. I think for everything that I do in my workflow, from recording wedding video to dance recitals to even a little bit of content creation, which I'm kind of leaning towards another camera. I'll tell you that in the next one. But I think the R6 Mark II would have been a better option. I've used the R7. It's in our bag pretty regularly, and I like the autofocusing mechanisms on it better than the R5 and the R6. Um, I know some people have some issues with that, but I've yet to see those. The standout features of the R5 to me are the 8K, most of the video features, the downsampling to 4K. Um, I don't think that's justifiable for what we've used it for. So I know that I'm not pushing this camera to its limits. I don't really have a need to, and I don't think most creators will. So that being said, I think the R6 Mark II would have been the better option. The 26 megapixel files would have been a little bit more manageable. The video quality, I'll let you decide. We're shooting on the R5 right now. Um, Let me know what you think of this compared to maybe some of my previous videos. I don't see a huge difference. Now, we are in 8K downsampled to 4K right now. Typically, I'd be shooting in 4K straight, usually with a external recorder, the Ninja V, but I haven't seen significant differences in the quality. Now, here's where I'm going to bite my tongue. For wildlife, this camera's been phenomenal. From being able to crop in, even if I'm shooting at like the 800 millimeter f11 and shooting way out, I'm able to crop in significantly and still retain a lot of information. The video for a lot of the outdoor stuff that we do, the adventure kind of travel vibes, this camera's been great. I mean, being able to crop in on a detail, being able to crop in on our faces and everything when we're relatively far out in the frame, and then just a lot of the like wildlife stuff that we do. I will say like the R6 left some to be desired there. But weddings, Weddings are where and weddings are where most of my work is right now. So the R6, it's doing everything I need it to from a wedding video standpoint, from a wedding photography standpoint. So what I wanted to cover in this is just, kind of avoid that gear acquisition syndrome. I think I could have saved myself $1,000 and been just as happy with an R6 Mark II. I did have a need for a second camera. That's kind of where we were at this point in the business. But I don't think I needed a $3,300 R5 with nearly unmanageable file sizes. And I'm editing on a Mac Studio with 64 gigs of RAM. It's an M1 Ultra chip, I believe. So not a basic run-of-the-mill computer. I utilize DaVinci Resolve for all my video editing, unless it's kind of like mobile and stuff like that, which I'm starting to lean into the Fujis more for my content creation side of things and utilize the Canons as more of my professional side of things. But yeah, I'm not seeing as much value in this camera as I thought I was going to. Now, I will say, part of this could be because I haven't been doing the passion projects that I've wanted to lately. The YouTube's kind of taken a back seat to all of the work that we've been doing. The wildlife photography and videography has also taken a back seat because I've just recently made this full time. So almost all of my work is professional work currently, and I'm still kind of trying to find that work-life balance of creating things that I'm passionate about and that I want to create, such as the YouTube channel, the portraits of some of the animals that I've been tracking. I'm on a black bear hunt, as we speak. Not currently, obviously. I'm in an office, but it's mostly been portrait sessions or weddings or working through a backlog of my fiance helps me shoot sometimes, but she doesn't edit. So I know, don't give her any slack. But so I do all the photo editing and all the video editing if we're doing a wedding together. And I've gotten myself to the point where I've run out of time and motivation to push doing stuff that I actually like really, really want to do. I've leaned more into the business side of things. So that could be part of the reason why I'm not enjoying the camera as much as I thought I was going to. I want to know your thoughts. Has anyone bumped from the R6 to the R5? Or does anyone have an R5 and an R6 Mark II and kind of find that the R6 does a lot of heavy lifting for your workloads? I've thought about selling the R6 and upgrading it to the R6 Mark II, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of attached to this camera. I don't know that I ever want to sell it. On the other hand, this is gonna be going soon. So as of today, I listed it on eBay. I'm looking at upgrading to the XS20. And this has been a great camera. It's sentimental to me. It's come a lot of places with us. But the thing with it is it doesn't have a lot of the video things that I want. And I think the XS20 is going to be where I'm looking to start with content creation and like ease of use, being able to just grab a camera and go without having to grab a full kit. I think that XS20 is going to be a nice setup with that, like maybe the Viltrox 13mm or a 14mm lens. I haven't really fully looked into the lenses yet, but it's something that I'm kind of playing around with. The R5 isn't going anywhere. I do want to make that clear. It's a phenomenal camera. It's great. It does everything we need it to and more. The and more is a problem I'm having right now. Is it doing too much? Did I need it? I wanted it. I still like it. It still blows my mind pretty much every time I use it. And I'm sure when I go to throw this footage into DaVinci, it's going to remind me, yeah, there's a reason I bought this camera. But my plan is to do a full deep dive into this R6 and exactly why I love it so much. Why it's so close to my heart, because it's a great camera. It's a great camera on a great budget. It does a lot of things that I think most professionals are gonna need. It goes above and beyond compared to some of the older cameras that I've worked with, like the the T5i, the T7i. I never got into any of the heavy hitters in the DSLRs because that was before my time as a photographer. But the R6 is a great camera. And if you're looking for that upgrade from a DSLR to a mirrorless, don't be shy with the R6 and think that you have to go to the R5 right off the bat. And this is great. It's a great camera to learn on. It's a great camera to figure out how these mirrorless cameras work. It has good autofocus. It has phenomenal low light performance. And I think it has very palatable noise patterns. So, let me know what you think. Join the conversation. Have some comments. Let me kind of talk to you guys. Like, subscribe, hit that noti bell whenever you're ready. We'll catch you on the next one.